This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Man fatally stabbed in St. Mary, cousin detained. A man is to be questioned by the St. Mary police in connection to the fatal stabbing of his cousin in Rosand, St. Mary on Saturday morning. The deceased has been identified as a 36-year-old Swin Lawton, a construction worker of Rosand in the parish. Reports reaching the news are that Lawton was engaged in an argument with a relative during which his cousin intervened. After the dispute was quelled, Lawton later left the premises with his female companion sometime after 2 a.m. Saturday. While walking home, Lawton was allegedly attacked by a man and stabbed. An alarm was raised and the wounded man was assisted to the hospital where he later died. The deceased man's cousin was subsequently taken into custody as police probed the incident. Abducted child found abandoned after mother killed in Trelawny and others injured. A 4-year-old girl who was abducted during a gun attack in Spicy Hill in Duncan's Trelawny this morning has now been found. Her mother, Tika Ennis, 21, of Boston, United States, and a refuge at Trelawny, was killed in the attack. Another woman who was also shot has been hospitalized in a critical condition, while a man who was grazed was treated. Head of the Trelawny Police Division, Superintendent Carlos Russell, is now heading a team combing the area for the gunmen. It is reported that about 10:30 a.m., a group of gunmen went to an area of Spicy Hill known as Capture Land and attacked the people. The police theorize that this incident is a retaliation for last night murder of a man in the nearby Spicy Hill community of Trelawny. Iron Jared, 38, otherwise called Connie G., a laborer of Spicy Hill in Duncan's Trelawny, was shot dead about 1 a.m. He is said to be a relative of a man involved in a gang that operates in Trelawny. Kingston man drowns in Portland. A Kingston man drowned at a river in Plum Valley, Buff Bay, Portland shortly after 1 p.m. today. The police say the man was among a group on a trip from Meadowbrook, St. Andrew. According to the police, some members of the group decided to go swimming even though the river was in spate. The police said one man got into difficulty and was submerged. His friends tried valiantly to rescue him, but without success. A police team, firefighters, and residents were called in and assisted in searching for the body. It has since been pulled from the river. Gangster prescribed Anthony-style attack on rival community. The remaining handful of gangsters aligned to the Wandon faction of the Klansman gang were growing increasingly agitated after rival criminals, emboldened by the absence of alleged leader Andre Blackman Bryan from their midst, began picking off even their family members. The latest of several recordings of captured telephone conversations played among the ongoing trial of 33 individuals accused of being part of the gang on Thursday afternoon into Friday morning featured a conference call involving some 12 gangsters laying frenzied plans for cars to be rented and the men and weapons deployed for reprisal in the Shelter Rock area. During the recordings, they accused Joseph McDermott, alias Papa, who was said to be responsible for guarding the gang's Jones Avenue headquarters at night, is heard declaring that Big Lane and a brother are over the sun straight again. According to witness number 1, the former gang member who recorded the conversations while working undercover with the police, McDermott's sentiment meant that the gangsters were no longer sure if over that side can be trusted. We are not sure if they are still friends or aligned. In that conversation, it was noted that Brookie, apparently a former ally who had defected, had sent a message indicating that him a pre-teach a father next, him say a bear family him a touch. During the call, one of the alleged gangsters was heard prescribing "Get them the Anthony style." Asked by the prosecutor leading the evidence to explain what this involved, the witness said, "Anthony style meaning invade them community nuff. That means more than 10 persons going into the community to attack all at once." In another call, the witness was heard informing former Jamaica Defense Force soldier Jermaine Robinson, who is also on trial, that a girlfriend of Kevon Green, Brian's brother, who is also on trial, had been a casualty. The man them a go continue them sitting there, because them have it say, yo, them no see nothing a reach them back, Robinson is heard declaring. "I no lie, no retribution now go on, you see it," said the witness, who had been heard expressing dismay that no attempts had been made to fire on a blue car that had been used by rivals to conduct a shooting in the Jones Avenue area. "Brother, to how it look now, anything where the man them see fi drop anything," the army man declared, adding that he wanted to talk to his leader, Brian. "A matter of fact, from Danny thing, you know say yo, I no like see a strange man. Them know say the dog family that, brother. From this missy said the man them no have no regards for nothing," Robinson added. The Wandon faction of the gang, allegedly presided over by Brian, had descended into chaos after his incarceration in 2018, resulting in serious infighting amongst the remaining members. Over that period, several other key players in the gang had also been jailed, further crippling the already gutted criminal organization. The trial resumes on Monday at the Supreme Court in downtown Kingston before Chief Justice Brian Sykes. It is expected that 2 more witnesses will be called, including one who will speak to graffiti on Jones Avenue, the stomping ground of the Brian faction. It is unclear when the court will resume hearing the remaining recordings due to the absence of transcripts for those conversations. Assault rifle found in Norwood, Zozo. A high-powered rifle was seized in an operation led by members of the Joint Forces working in the Norwood Zone of Special Operations in St. James on Friday, February 25. Reports are that the operation was conducted about 7:15 p.m. on Charles Drive in the area of the zone. An M16 rifle and 2 5.56 rounds of ammunition were found in a cardboard box beneath debris in an abandoned lot. No one was arrested in connection to the find. However, investigations continue, the police said. Renewed call for wanted men in Westmoreland. Deputy Superintendent of Police in charge of operations for the Westmoreland Police Division, Adrian Hamilton, said the police department has been ramping up efforts to capture criminals in the parish and has renewed their call for wanted individuals to turn themselves in. "We have made a call from time to time for persons who are wanted to turn themselves into the police. We have also provided avenues for that to be done, including interventions, speaking to their relatives, and telling persons or warning persons of the dangers in terms of harboring fugitives," Hamilton said. "We are determined as a police force within the parish that we will ostracize this crime cancer from the parish. We know it's not an easy task, but we are in for the long haul and we'll be continuing our efforts as I mentioned before, and all hands on deck, and the team is raring to go and has really been ramping up the intensity on the ground," he continued. This follows the apprehension of another man on Westmoreland's most wanted list. Roger Cityman Webb of Gordon District in Whitehouse, who was wanted for assault at common law and illegal possession of firearm, was arrested on Wednesday along with 5 other unnamed men. But Hamilton has said that even though the police have made some headway in apprehending and arresting some of these wanted individuals, there are still those who have been eluding the police. Some have heeded the call, some have been out there on the run, but we want to renew the call for 3 other wanted men from the parish. Omar Fogo, otherwise called the Satan, is wanted for double murder in the Cornwall Mountain area in Westmoreland. He has been on the run since January, and we have seen an escalation in criminal activities stemming from that same incident. He needs to turn himself in because he's also on our radar, and we are targeting him for capture, he stated. Additionally, we have Tyreek McDowell, otherwise called the Blacks, from a Grange Hill address. He is wanted for wounding with intent. We have launched several operations in terms of pursuing him, and he continues to be on the run. The third person is Rickle Barrett, otherwise called Tuggy Tuggy. This man is wanted for murder and he has reigned terror. He is from the Dexter Street area in Savannah, Lamar. A zone of special operations is currently in effect in that part of the town, and he has reigned terror within that space. We have done what we are supposed to do. We have pursued him in several operations. We have sought intervention, and I personally spoke to his mother, who from her account is a minister of religion, and she gave the assurance that he will be turning himself in to face justice. He has not done so," Hamilton continued. He reported that the 3 men are currently on the run and the police are continuing to target them for apprehension, along with other wanted individuals in the parish. Hamilton also extended a warning to criminals who are being faced with a capture to abstain from employing acts of violence towards security personnel. He said where they are met with force, the police will respond in similar fashion. "I will hasten to say also that we want the citizens' collective voices within Westmoreland. I will hasten to say also that we want the citizens' collective voices within Westmoreland to be raised vociferously in unison, demanding that criminals who face apprehension do not bring deadly force to the police. Even though our project is to preserve every life, we are also trained to employ the necessary force that is proportional to any attack that we face," he stated. Firearm found in car trunk, 2 men in custody. A BMW motor car was intercepted and a firearm and several rounds of ammunition seized by a patrol team on Gore Terrace, Kingston 10 on Saturday, December 26. 2 men were taken into custody as a result of the seizure. Reports are that about 7:10 a.m., a police team observed a BMW motor car committing a traffic breach and signaled the driver to stop. The driver complied. He and his passenger were, however, behaving in a manner that aroused the suspicion of the officers. A search of the vehicle resulted in a 9mm Springfield pistol along with 18 cartridges being found in a bag inside the car trunk. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.